Yo, what up, cats? MyEscape20 here, and today, guys, what I have for you here today is the Claptrap Loadout Guide for Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So, this guide directly relates to the Claptrap skill point guide that I've done previously. So, if you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend checking that out, because all the builds we talk about there are going to relate to the ones that we're talking about here. So, like I said, if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. But if you're one of those people that, just love your build, you don't want to change it at all, you're just trying to figure out what other people are using on their claptrap and blah blah blah, then maybe this video is the best for you. So the two we're going to be looking at is the subroutine build and the supportive build. So subroutine is all about doing tons of explosive damage, as well as increasing one gun to maybe decrease another, as well as, some non-explosive guns potentially doing some explosive damage. And then the supportive is all about kind of like carrying or other people carrying you. It's about greatly amplifying their output so they can do a massive amount of damage, and you heal them and you give them this and that, and just a bunch of other perks that you want to associate with that. So first one we're going to be looking at is the subroutine build. So what I like to do is talk a little bit about what the skill tree that we did kind of offered, and then go ahead and explain each of the loadouts. So let's go ahead and think back real quick. So basically what that skill tree did is increase stuff while decreased other things. So maximizing output on one gun. We also did massive amount of explosive damage, as well as other guns that didn't do explosive damage now do explosive damage. And we also did the larger the clip, the more damage on the final shot. So and it was like 400%, something huge like that. I'm pretty sure it was 400%. It was huge. So, those are the ones that we're going to be kind of focusing on. So, the Shred of Fire, Major Tom, Bada Boom, and the Zim are the four guns I like to use, right? The Shred of Fire and the Major Tom are assault rifles. The Bada Boom is an RPG, and the Zim is a pistol. So, you can always get rid of the Major Tom if you want to maybe substitute it for a shotgun to kind of have a more variety of weapons, so you're not getting screwed for a little bit. But it's really up to you. The Shred of Fire I like having as shock, so it has a massive clip and it can help break through shields. So that's why I really like that one. The Major Tom I like to use as the corrosive, and if you don't like the corrosive Major Tom, that you can just substitute it out for the Viral Marketeer, which we'll be talking in the next build. That is a corrosive shotgun, which I find an amazing gun. So, like I said, if you wanted a little bit more variety, you can just do that. Or you can always substitute it for the Torrent or something, an SMG, which has explosive, or corrosive, anything that you want to do. The RPG I like to use is the Bada Boom. Now, you can always use the Nukem as well, but I like the Bada Boom because of the bigger clip size. So, if you guys remember what I said, the larger the clip, the more damage you do on the final shot. So, the Nukem pretty much does the same thing, but the Bada Boom has a little bit more AoE as well as a larger clip. So, you can do more damage on that final shot. And the Zim has a huge clip for a pistol. I mean, I'm talking massive. This is like 150, yeah, right around there, ammo capacity for or magazine size for this pistol. Now, this pistol you can only get in Cairo damage. So, why Cairo? Why do we care about that? Well, if you remember what Cairo does, is once a target is frozen, if you go up and melee them, it does 300% extra damage. Okay, whatever. But if they're frozen and you come down and slam them, it does increased damage as well. I don't know if it's 300%, but it is a bonus damage. So, basically, if you guys remember the build, if you haven't, like I said, check that out. But we invested some points in the slam damage. So, we're going to be doing a ton of damage if we free somebody with that. So, those are the ones I like to use for the guns. So, next we're going to be talking about the Shield, Class Mod, Oz Kit, and the Grenade. The shield I like to use is the Sham. The reason I like the Sham is purely because of the absorb chance, right? So if, say, you're fighting a bunch of targets that, fire bullets at you, well, you're going to be getting all those bullets back, and that's fantastic, right? But if you're fighting a creature or something that doesn't really shoot bullets, then I'd recommend maybe something similar to the B Shield, the Borderlands 2, maybe an amp. Now, I know there's not super amazing ones, but if you go ahead and you check out my Nisha skill point, or Nisha loadout guide. I forget exactly which one it's called, but there's a fantastic amp shield that also heals you for all the amp drain that it takes from your shield. So I'd recommend doing that. The class mod I like to use is the Sapper, and that increases explosive damage while decreases the explosive damage that you take. So that is very, very nice. If you're having ammo regen problems, so say you're not using the Sham and you are using the B shield, maybe you can use the Pinata class mod. And basically what that is a team ammo regen. So I really like that one, but I still think the Sapper is a lot better, personally, if you're able to use the Sham. But if you are going to use the Sapper, make sure you use the Audacious one. So the Audacious Sapper. And the reason why we're saying Audacious is because that gives you the most explosive damage output. So that is the best variant to that shield. So make sure you do that. The Oz kit I like to use is the Support Relay, and that's clearly for more damage, right? So the more oxygen we have, the more gun damage we're going to be doing. So that's what this whole build's about, is guns, 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 right? I sound like the Gunzerker by doing that, but yeah. So anyway, the grenade I like to use is the Rolling Thunder. Now you can use this or two others. You can maybe use the bonus package or the Meganade. Either one is fine, or any of those three is fine. They are all explosive based, right? So you're going to be doing a ton of damage. I personally like the Rolling Thunder, but that's just me. One thing I also forgot to mention is the Support Relay is Incinerary. Now, the reason why it is Incinerary is because none of our other guns are using Incinerary. So basically, we want to come down and we want to slam down. So you can, if you want to do that, you can maybe change that to Explosive, but you're going to have to change something else in your guns. Or maybe your grenade, which is why I don't like to do that. So I like the Incinerary Oz kit. So that is the subroutine build for Claptrap. Let's go ahead and move on to the supportive build. So let's go ahead and do what we did last time and think back what we want to do. So the supportive build was all about healing people. It was all about giving people high fives. It was all about taking away some shields so you can stay alive. The longer you're alive, the more output of stats you give to other people. Pretty much just an all-around team player kind of guy. So that is this build, what we're going to be looking at. So the guns I like to use are the Torrent, Bada Boom again, the Viral Marketeer, or the Shred-a-Fire. So we talked about the Bada Boom. We talked about the Shred-a-Fire, right? So the Bada Boom is a explosive RPG, and the Shred-a-Fire in this one I like to use as the Cairo. Now, you don't have to. You can go back and use it as shock, but the Torrent I like using as our shock SMG. The Viral Marketeer we mentioned, it is a corrosive shotgun. So all these that we mentioned work fantastically with Claptrap. It kind of covers everything: shock, explosive, corrosive, and Cairo. All we need is Incinerary, which we will talk about here in just a second. So the shields we're going to be looking at are the Regenerator. First of all, we're going to look at shield, class mod, Oz kit, and grenade, right? So the shield is the Regenerator, and I really like that because it increases your max health and also gives you an elemental resistance. So that is just a fantastic tank shield, right? There's really nothing like that. You can obviously use the Turtle, which increases your shield, but reduces your max health. But why do that when all someone has to do is shoot you with a shock weapon? You know what I'm saying? It's completely destroyed, and at that point, you're pretty helpless. So I just like using this one because it also helps cut back the shock damage that you're going to receive. So it's just all around the best shield for this build. The class mod I like to use is the Bro Trap. Now this one is awesome. The Bro Trap gives you max health and team health regen. So it's not team max health, it's you max health and team health regen. And that is very, very nice. Now, the Bro Trap is not a legendary, I will say. The one you want to use is Through Thick and Thin. That increases your action skill cooldown rate for you and the rest of your team. So it just has so much to offer, right? Gives them all health regen, and increases all of their cooldown for the action skills. So that's just fantastic. You can also use the Iridian Vanquisher if you're one of those people that just has to have all legendaries. But that one is just not as good, right? So it does give you elemental effect chance, it gives you max health and air control. So the elemental effect chance is kind of important, or it's actually pretty important because it gives you stacks. The more stacks you do, the the more you heal others, and blah blah blah. So having a lot of elemental effects are really, really important on Claptrap. So that right there is very good, but the skills that it offers is not good. So none of those really apply to this build at all, which is why I don't recommend it. The elemental effect, you don't really need that. You can use the elemental effects with your badass rank. You don't need a whole class mod to erase everything you want to do just for some elemental effects. So that's why I don't like using that one. The Bro Trap is definitely the way to go. The Oz kit I like to use is the Moonlight Saga, and this increases your health regen, right? And we like to use the Incinerary one, so it gives you lifesteal in the vacuum and regen in the atmosphere, right? So the vacuum basically means indoor, atmosphere means outside in space when you're hopping around on the moon. So lifesteal indoor, regen outdoor. So that's very, very nice to have. It's very diverse. It can help you out a lot in any situation, and there's really no negatives to that at all. So I really like that one. The grenade I like to use is the transfusion. So what we talked about is having more and more stacks, right? So, staying alive as long as possible. So let me go ahead and pull up something really quick, just so I can read out this skill, because I want to make sure I get this exactly right. But basically, staying alive longer increases, the more I do. So this is what this is. This is what I was talking about. The Mechanical Laughter increases static effect chance, dealing status effect damage to enemies, right? Grants you stacks of Mechanical Laughter. You and your pals, which means you and everyone else, gain health regen for each stack of laughter. The lower the health, the greater the health regen. So that's really important to have. So basically, we want to be staying alive so we can take advantage of that skill right there. We want to be giving health regen to us so we can give health regen to others. We also want to, just basically stay alive as long as possible so we can, like I said, help others. That's what this whole build is all about. It's just helping people so they can pretty much carry the game. So that is the two builds I have for you guys. I hope you really took those into consideration. And yeah, so if you have any better builds or you think I should maybe change one of these, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to learn, and I'm sure others would as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the Jack loadout guide in the next video. So thanks. Alright, so previous video is the Nisha loadout guide. So if you have no idea how to build Nisha or anything, need help, that's how you do it. And if you can't get enough of Claptrap, make sure you go ahead and check out the featured video, which is the Claptrap Robot Revolution of Borderlands 1, right? So you can do that, and it'll also link you to a playlist of Borderlands 1, which has a ton of additional information on Claptrap. You can watch the whole DLC and really live Claptrap's life and why he's so sad that everybody hates him. So yeah. So anyway, if you're new to the video, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more videos on Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, please leave a thumbs up. Also, best way to contact me is on Twitter at MyHeroEscape20. I always have my phone on me. And if you want to see me play this game live, go to twitch.tv/MyHeroEscape20. So I've been streaming a lot recently, so make sure you guys go check that out. Open lobbies and more. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, peace!